Hey, it's the normal playing guy. Right. So this Easy A is it's been out for a little while. It's the 22nd, and this dude came out probably last week. But we've all had a chance to play him to get his Easy A out. So we will now have a look then to see uh, who uses this guy. How do you use him? Should you respec him? And then we'll touch on his Easy A to see how you do it. I might release a video to see if you can do it with crappy units, because obviously the main key thing is it's LRs in particular that actually do the damage, as well as movie bosses, right? So we'll see or touch on that a little bit. But hey, this is the unit themselves. So previously, it was 4 key, 130%, extreme physical, 100%. But 4 key, so the first couple of stages of Battlefield was nice. This unit can be advantageous. Really, you wanted to get 7 key spheres. Ideally, something like one of these two would be great. So we have 15% per key sphere obtained. That's any key sphere, but you get an additional 5% and 2 key with 2 or more key spheres obtained. So that's pretty good. Now, if this was only per key sphere, then that would be with 2 or more. So this counts from the third key sphere. So this is one of those where it's one of those which worded a bit differently, and the newer ones would say starts from the third. So this was great after a little while. Should you have gotten 7, you would have massively buffed this for yourself and gotten this, which is nice because this is a guaranteed dodge. It's not, I wouldn't say it's impossible to get 7 key spheres, but depending on the rotation in the team and who needs what, 7 is quite difficult. Previously, this unit was controversial and first of its kind to do this. 2 tech or int gives you a nice key, gives you the defense, and AGL or STR gives you the attack. Obviously, primarily, you'd go for the int or tech, and I liked how it's just 2, right? That's pretty nice. So that's pretty good. The super attack effect is actually really strong. Greatly raises defense and lowers attack. That's actually really good. And of course, greatly raises defense again, which is nice. The lowering attack is really cool. You could go for his 12 key more than anything, because again, you get the attack lowering in Super Battle Road stages. Now, Extreme Super Battle Road movie bosses used to be a bit of a pain. You could run this. Of course, you could go for the dodge, and you could, of course, go for the extra defense as well, which would really help everybody else, right? Because it affects all allies. Be nice to see if this gets a buff, by the way. But yeah, so he can have use in difficult content, and now he's about to have some use in difficult content. So if you're still struggling with said Extreme Super Battle Road events or something that might include this guy, then you're about to use him. So we now have a 4 key 150%. Extreme physical stays the same at 100%. But the movie boss goes to 150%. Okay, great. There are better ones out there for sure. It's nice that it's at least 150%, so that's fine. The guy came out 4 years ago, so that's pretty cool. Obviously, he came out for the just about the anniversary part 2, which was at the time the was it going not just before Gogeta? No, just before the 7th anniversary units. So that's something. So we have 30% now per key sphere obtained. So it's doubled from 15 to 30. That's nice. We get 10% per physical key sphere obtained. That's good because now instead of it starting from the third, it's now permanently any key sphere of a physical type will get you stacked. So that's really nice. A big incentive to get the 7. So all plus an additional 2 key per any key sphere obtained. So now it's just not just physical; it's now this. So that's actually really nice. Any key sphere was really good. So that would help build his super attack. Okay, this seems to remain the same. However, they now get 2 key, 2 slapped in. So that's nice. So honestly, that actually could be really good if you're going to rock him in movie bosses. Yeah, he doesn't have say like Oh, he does have big bad bosses. Fair enough, he does have big bad bosses, but he might struggle with key links. Oh, actually, he does because he's only got shocking speed. So he would help other allies who would have key links and they don't get triggered with this guy. So having this is nice. It's actually been made better because it's a AGL or STR key. It's just one key sphere and you get the same attack and defensive buff, and now we're getting two key spheres for half the amount of orbs that it takes. So that's nice. Factoring in this will get you two key for any one of these, so it'll help get your super attack. You're still getting this. That is still really nice because this alone is still better than his previous Easy A if you were to just go for all physical. After you go for all physical, he's going to be really shocking because it's 40% to stats, which is really nice. That's interesting. The only problem is this guy doesn't have start of turn stats, so he will need a lot. So this guy, if you get him a bunch of orbs, then he's going to look impressive. If you don't, and honestly, if you're under 5 orbs, I bet he's a wimp. You do get a lot of attack on super attack. Let's check him out. Still greatly raises attack and defense, still lowers attack. It's just going to hit harder. Great. Okay, 18 key massively raises defense. Ooh, now that is quite spicy. That is a spicy sausage right there. That's really nice. That would imply additionals. Well, maybe already so because he greatly raises, but the fact that you now go for his 18 key, I would say that this massively raises. It's a 100% raise to his attack and defense, by the way. It's attack as well. And then greatly outweighs this. So that's nice. So you get a guaranteed additional super attack and movie boss or super boss allies get 10% damage reduction when key is 24. Is that legitimately the first time I've seen this? Wow. Damn, what a support. 2 key, 39% attack, or 2 key, 39% defense, with 10% damage reduction they're giving you. Think about this. Physical Turles is probably a better lead, but fits on this and may be a decent partner. You factor in that with his damage reduction of 20 when fully built up, and this at now 30, yeah, his key is 24. Could be really, really strong. But what else do we have? So we have, 50% chance to dodge. Wait, did we not have this? No. We had guaranteed dodge with 7 or more key spheres, which is still guaranteed. Okay, sweet. 50% chance to dodge, period. And then guaranteed. Now, okay, so he gets 2 key per key sphere obtained. Now, that's really good because it's 7 or more key spheres obtained. That's really good. Actually, legitimately, where applicable for dodge, you could quite easily get dodge now because that would mean you would need 4 key spheres. 4 in order to qualify. 4 from 7 is a huge is huge. Because in particular, you do get 2 key spheres per key sphere obtained, but it's starting from the 3rd, so you'd already need 3, and then you need a few more. So this is actually really good. That massively improves the odds. So that's great. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to physical when your HP is you should have just done it, period. Changes all physical key spheres once only, fully done. So that's like a full heal. Okay, it's really nice that because you get 2 key per key sphere obtained, and it's key obtained, that you can very easily get 7. That's great. So when I say, so you could literally just get just a bunch of orbs, 4, literally 4, and rainbow does count because it's not tight key spheres, so you could get that. He gets the guaranteed dodge. I mean, it's only useful when events don't have like guaranteed hit, so there are some events he would be assing, but he would have complete domination. You could stick him in the slot with the most danger, and you very easily rock that. The only issue is You need key spheres to tank. That's period, because there's no start of turn defense. You're relying on his innate this. At 55%, it's actually a very respectable amount. That's actually really powerful. Sorry, no, this. That's a pretty decent 9.7 thousand at 69%. Actually, that's insane. That's a huge jump, and that is actually pretty powerful at 100%. Should you wish, anyone with a dupe is capable of doing well. But again, 40% seems great, but it's 40% of nothing, literally nothing, because there's no start of turn. So outside of the dodge, you would need this to kick in. Brilliant, you're a physical orb changer. Except it's under a certain HP threshold. So turn one, this guy potentially, well, actually, he will suck, right? Because you're going to go into a difficult event, and I can't remember which one it is, but there are events in like Red Zone, the Stage 2, Movie Edition 2, or whatever, and the Magnificent Fights. They guarantee hit you. You cannot dodge, and if you do not have those orbs from full health, this guy will get crushed. Period. It's no good waiting for this, because you can take one item. Your chances are you'll use a Whis. There's no heal. It's pointless. This is going to suck big time, because there'll be a point where you could, because it's, I mean, at least it is a physical orb changer, but you could get shafted with, like, say it changed tech, but the red board happens to be full of rainbow and every other color. Then you're kind of stuffed. But like, it's going to take up, like, you get this and you get a whole load. You're going to heal. The next turn, this is pointless. Or you steal all the orbs for somebody else. It's interesting. That rainbow, though, funny enough, all allies get 15% attack and defense with a rainbow key sphere obtained. It will be virtually every time. The chances of you just collecting 4 key spheres with a guaranteed dodge without a rainbow key sphere is going to be pretty much impossible. You're going to have a rainbow key sphere. So bear in mind, everyone is going to be walking away with that, which will put it at 54%. So you have 54% attack and defense, which is, no, you'll have 54% attack or defense with 15% in either attack or defense, depending on how you went. He's a fantastic support, and I know he can hit hard. The massively raises means you're probably going to want additionals to help securing, because you're going to go for the 18 key, seems reasonable, and then get an additional super attack. And then it seems like he has an additional super attack as well. So potentially you could triple super, which would be nice, for which you would massively raise, greatly raise, greatly raise. He is probably the best support, period, and the ability to dodge covers 80% of the game, at least 85% of the game. I just fear that with no start, because it's like physical black, Goku black physical. He's just had his super easy A. He can be impressive if you get a lot of orbs. Other than that, he's pretty mid. A lot of people hate that. They hate that I say that, but he's mid. One way around it is, for example, check out recent Easy A Fat Boo. He has start of turn defense, and he has per orb defense and attack, and he is a beast, legitimately. On the Boo team, he is phenomenal. I mean, it takes a fair few orbs for him to get anywhere up to an LR standard, but the point is, it doesn't take that much. But like Goku Black, he is the same principle. You're not always going to be in a situation. You'll more often enough will have a few orbs. You maybe get 4 or 5, which would be enough to get the guaranteed dodge. But honestly, outside of the dodge, he'd be ass. And there'd be a couple of times that, depending on how you wish to utilize him for all his dodges, you're not going to get anywhere with him. So that's it. Okay, quickly touching on his links, teams, and best partners. Brainiac, solid support. Cold Judgment's really nice. Big Bad Bosses, shocking speed, fierce battle, legendary power. The 2 key coming in really nice. Actually, theoretically, it's actually 4 key you're actually going to give allies, which is actually insane. Power of wishes, join forces, bond of friendship, super bosses, movie bosses. So obviously he's tailored between super bosses and movie bosses. And yeah, honestly, I can see a very easy use for him. Sure, why not? Because he's one of the best supports. Giving damage reduction, i.e., physical turlers, an extra 10%. Those with just really high defenses, like even AGL turlers, is really good. Those who build up would get, even nice to have an additional buffer zone. You think about Golden Freezers. They have the damage reduction of got a Tech Golden Freezer, who still is really strong because of his 70% damage reduction. AGL Golden Freezer, 90% damage reduction. And other LR AGL Golden Freezer, he eventually falls back down to 30% damage reduction. This would give him 40. Like everyone would you'd be immortal basically. Like the damage reduction on certain people would be huge and keeps you in check. So that's really nice. So movie bosses and super bosses is definitely the way to go, because the others you would never consider to run him on joint forces or bond of friendship, because who's he going to link up with? That also is kind of the problem. His linking partners is a bit wonky, because Cold Judgment is a Future Saga link, Big Bad Bosses is just an Extreme link. Now that doesn't necessarily, that can go either way, but you have a look in here, and I'm not seeing a lot of Future Saga on here, period. Yes, Future Saga will work. You'll have these 4, basically. Hell, even these 5. So legitimately, it will work. Don't know why they're not on here. But you have a look at the top 25, and it's Tournament of Power, it's Namek Saga, it's Android Saga, and then GT. It's a bit of everything. Ultimate Gohan. Why? Because of Cold Judgment and Solid Support, probably. But where does Big Bad Bosses come into play? It's Janemba. But why is Janemba on here? It's purely Big Bad Bosses. You're going to trigger these 3 at the very least. I mean, let's pick out this guy. You're going to have Fierce Battle. Okay, so yeah, Fierce Battle's there. Let's pick out these. Nothing to do with these. Fierce Battle, Shocking Speed, Legendary Power. Solid Support comes in. You wouldn't use him. It just so happens that link base wise he would come in. So that's something, I suppose. His best partners really would be, because he has Big Bad Bosses, he would fit into movie bosses really well. Coming in with like for example, Zamasu Goku Black, he's going to be okay on that, right? Because Cold Judgment, super bosses are going to be fine with this guy, given the fact that he's going to be one of the best supports ever. Yeah, why not? You can also include Saiyans, because he would have some Saiyan links, like Big Bad Bosses would incur some of them, Fierce Battle, Shocking Speed, Legendary Power. He will work with them. This is just one of those situations where this doesn't quite truly represent how he is. He will work on all of these in particular. There goes my alarm. Yeah, so he's a solid unit. There's just no doubt. I feel like he's a bit ass outside of you really gotta get those orbs, and it's just not that great. I mean, you'll easily get the 7 with the 2 key sphere, but physical, on the fact that he doesn't change to physical unless you have a HP restriction. Yeah, they should have just given you a flat out. Because then that actually means you would have been able to use him no matter what. So that's something. Right, let's have a look at his Easy 8. Let's see what potential teams you can use. Let's see if it's actually easy to do. Right, okay, so it's going to be Movie Heroes is the one that gets you through this with as quickly as possible. Legendary power is going to be the key. So obviously, if you were lucky in this particular anniversary run, you could just run this guy. He's 200% flat out for Movie Heroes, right? If you don't, you can also run this guy fully decent 170%. He's got his dodge, he's got his crits, he's super excellent effects. I mean, he's good. Actually, I think he's better than the LR right? So there you go. Again, yeah, you can also rock these two, so that's absolutely not a problem. There is decent leads. Hell, 7th anniversary units, yeah, not a problem. So there's a lot of decent units on here which could easily cope. There are a few sub leads as well, 130. Yeah, the 130 could work because the guest could carry you and you could have a pretty strong team. Remember, movie heroes and in particular STR is going to be the way forward. So any of these particular key units, and yes, what could help is Easy A, Bardock and Gide. That'll be a video to do as well. They're a sub Easy A, so you want to get them done. But more in particular, they have the improved stats and they could really help defensively. Yes, they're not an LR, so you're not going to do that much damage, but you'll survive. Strictly, it's any LR, doesn't have to be STR. Preferably, you'd stay away from Int, preferably. But you got, so like, for example, this guy, you wouldn't really. I mean, he could probably tank normals, no doubt, especially after they super attack, but they wouldn't take a super attack. Like, this guy could be really good, old enough now that he's probably been around. This guy's. People are probably, if they didn't rainbow him last year, you rainbowed him this year, that's for sure. So, again, Easy A, really powerful, really helps out. So like these two would really help out. There's a few, I mean, this is movie heroes in general, as you can see, but we're also talking, there's a few other Easy A's. Yamcha, sure, why not? Great Saiyaman and Videl, sure. Gogoku. Gogoku is legitimately a really good defensive unit, right? And he starts off poor, but very rapidly gets really good. Who else are we looking at? The Gammas. The Gammas are also pretty respectable, so you can definitely rock that. These two. Yeah, so he would have complete domination and damage reduction, and he would be a beast. This guy, if his guard triggers, he'd be a beast. Both of these are good. This Piccolo has built-in damage reduction, raises defense, and is actually really, really powerful. Not offensively, but more defensively. This guy, Orb hungry, but legitimately also pretty great. Yeah, Gamma 1, Gamma 2. This guy's dropped off quite a lot, so perhaps not. There's actually a lot of decent units, like these Vegetas. I mean, you don't strictly. I mean, if you don't have him, any one of them after the Easy A is fairly respectable. Who else could we rock? I mean, you could just throw that Tapion in there, that LR Tapion, if you have him, because he will trigger an LR link and he's STR. So, I mean, it will work. Seriously, there's actually quite a lot of STR units that you could rock. Can't always promise they'll stick with, like, they'll do much damage, but at least they should be able to get you through this. Kaioken, Goku, Gogeta. Not particularly too sure with Super Gogeta. His Super Easy A cannot be too far away. He was one of the first ones. He could actually be really good. Oh, hell, these will have a Super Easy A and they'll all come at once. But outside of the point, those might survive, and that could be pretty good. But it is quite easily doable, there's no doubt. And then, of course, this is your respective leads. So there are some pretty decent top-heavy units. The guest, no doubt you'll rock this guy as the guest, and he's going to crush. He just will. So it shouldn't be too difficult. Remember, this is endgame content, so if you do not have these units, then don't worry too much. It just means you aren't at that particular one. So that's great. That's great. There is this. Okay, you could personally try and ring out. Nah. I'd say no for them. You don't want to use them. Okay, so that's it for this video. It's gone on long enough. It's a decent unit, no doubt, absolutely fine. But yeah, bang him out. He's pretty good. He has some great uses, best support ever. But yeah, it's down to personal preference. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, brilliant. And if you didn't, well, that sucks to be you. But thank you, and bye.